Yeah, baby, we live. Yeah, baby, we live. Yeah, baby, we live, baby.
What it is, what it do is Big Mo. Welcome back to the Big Mo Podcast, episode 18. Shout out to everyone. How was your week? I hope you guys had an amazing week. If you're new here, welcome to the Big Mo Network. This is the show on the Big Mo Network, the Big Mo Podcast. If you're new here, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. It will mean a lot to me, and you get to see future content. Make sure you hit that bell so that way you are notified anytime I go live or anytime I put any new content out. Okay, you can also sign up to the Big Mo Network Patreon, which the link is down below in the description, but it's also right here if you need it. Patreon.com/the Big Mo Network. All right, so you could go there. I have two tiers. I have a $3 tier that gives you access to the Discord, but Discord is free now, so it just is basically at this point a tip jar, and more than appreciated. The $5 tier gives you access to the Discord as well, and also I'm working on future perks for that, which most likely will be watch-alongs, maybe Zoom Hangouts, stuff like that, where you can interact with me and others in the community. If you guys want to send me a Streamlab, any questions, messages you want to send me, or anything you want me to read on the show, you can hit my streamlabs.com/Big Mo's movie reviews. Still can't fix that yet, but I don't know if I can ever fix it. I hope everyone's doing great. Today we got a good show. A lot of topics today. That I had some topics I was going to talk about on the last show, didn't have time for it, so I'm going to talk about it on this show. Also, if you need the Discord link is down below. The Discord is very fun. It's free for anybody who wants to join. It's so much fun. I'm pretty sure everyone will like it. We've been having so much fun lately in the community with it. Pardon me, I was parched. What up, Matt? Speaking of Matt, I want to shout out to all my $5 tier Patreon supporters. I want to shout out to Matt Munoz, Lloyd Nance, and Jared Jenkins for being my 3 Patreon members so far. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. You guys, awesome. It's awesome. It means a lot to me. Matt said, "Was good, homie. Was good, man. It's been good. It's been one hell of a week. Started back work, all that shit. So it's been weird getting back into real life shit, you know. Why the hell there's an ad playing on my music?" There we go, fix it now. Sorry. Next Issue Podcast. Yo, Danny, what up? What it do? Parched, LOL. Yeah, man, I'm thirsty. I had to rush. I was eating something, and then all my tech shit was all over the place and being a pain in the ass. Also, if you guys want to listen to this podcast in audio form, it's available on all audio or podcast streaming, and everything is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I think it's on other stuff, but I forgot. I have a link in the description down below as well, or I will have. I don't know if it's up right now, but I will have it in the description below. And it'll take you to all my all the spots where my podcast is available on streaming. Because some people don't have the time to watch me, and they can just listen to it on the ride to work, ride home. There's usually only do an hour shows, so it's not too long for people to be like, tuning out. So I try to keep it as short as possible, short and sweet. But yeah, so I started back at work this week. That was something. Started work this week. Back in the school building now with the kids weren't in yet. The kids come on Monday. They come back on Monday, so I still have time, like before I have to deal with the kids and stuff like that. But so far it's been fine. The first 2 days kind of flew by because we were doing a lot of stuff, so it really didn't. It wasn't bothersome. I wasn't bad. I just made sure I was busy so that way the day will go by fast. Because there's nothing worse than being like in meetings and then just fucking just sitting there not doing anything, and then that's what sucks. Let me see my lighting. Is my lighting good? I think that might be a little bit better. All right, but yeah. So how was everyone else's week? How was your week, Danny? How was your week, Matt? I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys had a great week. Anything special you guys did? I know shit is crazy still out there, but you know, you shout out Matt. You're beautiful, Mo. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna start off with the sad news about this week, which is that is the 20th anniversary of September 11th. I can't believe it's been 20 years. That's still one of the days that stick and stay in my brain the most. Is like I remember everything that happened that day. You know, then it goes too long and it was only 4 days. LOL, nice special. Just early release on Friday. Get that weekend going. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, so like I was saying, I remember. I think I was in third grade. I think I was in third grade, if I'm not mistaken. So it was. That's how much that day sticks in my head that I remember it at third grade. So I remember we were in class. I think we were transferring classrooms, and then I overheard some of the teachers talking, and the teachers was like, "Oh, a small plane hit the Twin Towers." So we didn't think about it. We were like, "Okay, whatever, I guess," you know. And then I remember being in class and we had the window facing like the city, but you can't really see the city, but you could tell it was coming from the city because we saw smoke. So we were like, what is that? Like, that's a lot of smoke, whatever. But we kids, so we ain't thinking of anything. Then all of a sudden, the phone starts ringing and it's one of the kids' parents and he's getting picked up early. So we're like, all the kids are all hyped. They're like, oh shit, we're gonna get picked up early. Everyone's gonna leave early. So we were just hyped just to leave school, you know. So we get picked up. So another person gets called in, and then another person gets called in, and then another person. And I'm like, yo, oh my god, yo, we going home, right? So I go and I get picked up by my mom in the office, and she's crying. And I'm like, what the? Well, that's when I'm like, what's going on? Because it's weird. Why would you be crying? And that's when I heard the news about the Twin Towers and shit like that. And the thing about where we live, where I used to live, we weren't that far from the river, so we could see the Twin Towers from like our block. We could have seen them. So it's crazy. Like we saw the smoke and everything. And then when I saw the newscast and everything, and I saw everything that happened, that shit was wild. That shit was wild, man. And it's so fucking sad. And then it was not only here, it was in the Pentagon and also in the United 93, the 1993 fight that went down, you know, because they fought. I mean, listen, I'm fighting my way through that shit too. I'm telling you right now, like if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out fucking fighting. But yeah, so it's still one of those days that's like haunting. Like anytime you go into the city, like you remember that shit. You think about it. You think about scenario. You're like, yo, like what if that shit happens again? Like that's what happens a lot to me. Like I think like, yo, what if this happens a lot? What if this happens again? And then what am I gonna do right now? So I always have that imprinted in my mind. Like one of the people that was in my building, that used to live in my building, had fucking worked there. I think she worked in the building, or she worked around that area, financial district, and she came back all covered in soot and all the dust from the building and everything like that. And it was like, wow, like that's crazy. Like when somebody that you actually know is dealing with that, it's crazy. But like I want to thank all the what you call them, the first responders, the fire department, the police department, anybody who tried to save lives, going back into those towers and getting people out, and rest in peace to all the people that we lost that day. It was a lot between the Trade Center and the Pentagon and the United 93. It was just a sad day for America, but especially for New York. It was one of those days that us New Yorkers will never forget. Especially, it doesn't matter what age you are, unless you're like really, really little. But if you're in a certain age where you kind of still remember shit, you're gonna remember that. Like that's something that will never leave your mind. I remember us being outside and we were listening to the radios from the cars and seeing what was going on. I remember maybe like a week after that we had a big storm, and I remember we had jets flying over since that happened. So we used to hear like the jets and shit. And then one night was a big storm, big fucking storm, and all of a sudden, like in the middle of the night, a loud like boom, like a big thunder sounded, and it was like, and all of a sudden I hear my mom screaming, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, so I go to my mom and say, Mom, that was just thunder. Mom, she thought it was a bomb going off. That's how traumatized we were, because after that too, that's why all the parents came and got their kids out of the schools as well, because there were threats against schools. People were thinking threats against like school buildings and shit like that. So everybody was like on high alert. Like I remember my dad was a truck driver, and he was in the city at the time, down in the city, and his dispatcher or whatever told him, get out of there, get out of there. My dad didn't come home till like real late on that night because all the traffic and shit like that. Like it was gridlock, like you wouldn't even imagine. Like the worst traffic ever, and because everybody was trying to get out. Everybody was forced to get out of the city. I don't think even the trains were running. People had to walk. The trains weren't running. People had to walk the bridges and stuff like that to get back to Brooklyn or Queens or whatever the case was. So that was a terrifying time. I remember also, since we were waiting and we were all nervous, my uncle was making coffee in the kitchen, and all of a sudden we started hearing like the alarm or whatever, the smoke alarm. We realized the coffee pot came on fire or whatever the case was, because he wasn't paying attention to it because we were so nervous about my dad and shit. And then all of a sudden, like we had to go and stop the fire and everything like that. Like it was nuts, man. Crazy time. And it's impactful for the United States. Like, especially like I remember when we finally got baseball back, and it was just like all those games in New York meant something. Like even I think the Mets were the first ones to come back, from the first ones to have a game after 9/11, and Mike Piazza hit that home run. It's like, no matter if you're a Mets fan or Yankee fan or whatever, that was special, And the same thing goes with like when the Yankees went to the World Series and shit. It was big, man. With George Bush throwing out the first pitch, and Derek Jeter told them, if you don't bounce it or they'll boo you. That's freaking classic, like classic. But yeah, so it's a lot of bad memories when it comes to September 11th, but then there's some good memories, seeing everyone together and everyone fighting for certain cause and nobody like really going after each other. But that was a tough time. It's still tough to think about whenever you see the Twin Towers pictures of them blowing up and falling and collapsing and stuff like that. It's still tough to watch. Um, but it's crazy though because sometimes I like to watch the documentaries of it, and every time I watch it, it's hard to watch, but I still like to watch it. Um, World Trade Center is a great movie in my opinion, like with Nicolas Cage and Michael Pena. I think John Bernthal's in it too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I think he has a small part in it, if I'm not mistaken. That was a pretty good movie. But yeah, so shout out to all the people, rest in peace to all the people that risk their lives to save others, and rest in peace to all the innocent people who died that day, whether in planes or in the towers. It's all about Zero Dark 30. What do you mean? The movie is all about that stuff? Yeah, I have to watch the movie again. I think I've seen the movie twice, but each time I've seen it, I haven't really paid attention to it. Like I'll be doing something else. I'll be on my phone or whatever, and not fully paying attention to it. So I want to see it again. What is some of your favorite movies that have to do with September 11th? If you're not here live right now, you can write in the comments below of what is your favorite September 11th movie. All the events that happen around September 11th. I mean, it's not like those movies are like my favorite movies of all time, but they're good movies, and they show you some of them. I haven't seen United 93, which I heard is pretty good from what people I've heard. World Trade Center is my favorite one so far, and Zero Dark 30. If that has to do with it, that's a good movie as well. But yeah, so let's get out of this funk. Let's stop talking about depressing shit, and let's get to one of the main topics of today. I'm gonna be reviewing two albums from last week. I had enough time to digest them and really, really, really listen to these albums and come up with an opinion for myself. So I'm gonna be reviewing Donda by Kanye West. Kanye West's new album Donda. Still haven't had. I don't know where the hell the explicit version. We still have the clean version, and it's annoying me. I can't stand when I'm listening to music and I hear blanks where words should be, and I'm just like, oh, come on, just give me the explicit version already. What are you doing, Kanye? If I'm not mistaken, there's two versions of the album on Apple, unless they changed it, and both versions are both clean, so it's two of the same album. Makes no sense. But Donda, my review of it. Okay, so I like Kanye West, right? I always love Kanye West. I feel like though in the last probably 4 or 3 albums, I'm trying to think because it's been a while. So we have Donda, right? Before Donda was what was it? It was Ye, right? It was Donda's now. It was Ye. It was The Life of Pablo. Fuck, I should pull that up. Hold up. Give me a second. Yeah, I love Jay-Z, and yeah, Matt, Donda was Kanye's mom's name. So this album was meant to be kind of a homage to her, but it didn't feel like that, in my opinion, with certain things. Certain songs didn't feel right. I don't know. Sonically, Kanye West will always be nice sonically, and he's one of those artists that's just he always likes to break new ground on certain sounds and shit like that. So okay, so we had I pulled up the album. So we had Donda. Before this was Jesus is King, which was the gospel one, which I didn't like. There was a few songs in it that I fucked with, but overall I'm like, that's not it, Kanye. Ye was I didn't like Ye. I probably liked a couple of songs. Even in his worst albums, I still like a few songs of his. Life of Pablo was good. I enjoyed Life of Pablo. Yeezus was okay. Yeezus grew on me more than when I first listened to it. I think it was because I went with my boy Darius, aka HD Been Dope. If you guys don't know who HD Been Dope is, do me a favor. I'm gonna tag his name. I'm gonna put his name on the bottom. Matt, if you want to pin it, if you can pin it. Um That's in the HD Been Dope. If you guys love music, love hip hop, I suggest you really go look look for HD Been Dope on YouTube, on Apple Music. He has great music. He has some really good things coming out pretty soon that he's been talking about. But I will have him on the show eventually to eventually talk about those things. So only I can pin it. Let me see. Does it work? I mean, I could put it like this, right? But I don't know. I can't do it from here. I would have to do it from YouTube itself. And it's fine. You could just see it there, if anything. But yeah, so great music if you want to listen to him. Where was I? Oh, that's what I was saying. Because we went to the Yeezus concert, right? He had gotten tickets from his friend, and he was going in for free, but his friend couldn't make it. So thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt, for putting it down there. So we went, and he had an extra ticket because his friend didn't go. That gave him the tickets. So he hit me up. He was like, "Bro, you close to Barclays?" I was like, "I'm not that close, but I could get there quick." And he was like, "All right, so come through. We're going to the Yeezy concert. I have an extra ticket." Bro, that was my first concert I ever been to, and my last concert. I haven't been to any concert since. And it was one of the best fucking times I've ever had, man. It's always good to go free. So on top of that, it was free, but I've never experienced so much fun as in like that time. Like we were going off with the music, man. We were going crazy, and the album grew on me more and more since I went to that concert. You know, so that album is not as bad to me as it was when I first listened to it. Then before Yeezus was my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which to me is neck and neck with my favorite Kanye album, right there with Graduation. Graduation is I think my number one, honestly. Graduation is so fucking special. That fucking album is top to bottom fucking fantastic. You can't beat that album, man. Good Morning, Champion, Stronger, and I Wonder If You Know What I Mean. That song's fire. The Good Life, Can't Tell Me Nothing, Barry Bonds, Drunken Hot Girls, Flashing Lights, Everything I Am, The Glory, Homecoming, Big Brother, and Good Night. I mean, come on. Every song on that fucking album is top notch. Untouchable to me, in my opinion. And same thing with my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That's what made Kanye huge, was those two albums. 808 Heartbreaks is fucking amazing too. And of course, Late Registration and College Dropout. But Kanye hasn't done an album. I think to me, his last best album is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I like Life of Pablo, but it's still not up to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy status, you know? So he has, how many albums does Ye have? He has College Dropout. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 10 albums. I will place probably Life of Pablo in the middle somewhere. It's not bad, but it's not like his best. You know, I will put, if I have to go top 5 Kanye albums, Graduation number 1, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy number 2, Late Registration number 3, 808 Heartbreaks number 4, and then College Dropout number 5. And then I'll put, honestly, The Life of Pablo. Matt goes, I still listen to Kanye, but it's all old stuff. Because that's the best Kanye. That is the best Kanye, bro. Like, it's period. Bar none, that's the best Kanye that we and I don't think we're ever gonna get that Kanye back. it just is what it is. We're not gonna get that Kanye back. So as long that's the great thing about music. We have the old Kanye. All you gotta do is just go listen to it. That's it. I appreciate that he likes to push boundaries with his music, and sonically, he's probably one of the most unique artists. Like, you already know it's a Kanye track just by his beats and the way he produces. Matt goes, but I'm really digging Still Sipping from the new Paul Wall album. It's crazy how Paul Wall is out here making an album, bro. I haven't heard Paul Wall since Sitting Sideways. Yo, I haven't heard Paul Wall since the mid 2000s, bro. Or the early 2010s. It definitely was mid 2000s. I haven't heard him in a long time. Danny goes, Watch the Throne is my fave, but I'm biased because you went to the concert. The Watch the Throne, I didn't put it in there just because I know it's him and Jay-Z. The same way I didn't put the one with him and Cudi, because I was just talking about his solo albums. But Watch the Throne is top 5 for Kanye. If I'm taking his collaborations, that's definitely top 5 for sure. I would kick College Dropout a little bit down, because College Dropout has some classic songs, but to me overall, from top to bottom, is not my favorite. Is not, out of all his classic albums, is my least favorite, but it's still fucking amazing. Paul Wall, baby, Texas born. Oh yeah, you from Texas? I forgot about that, Danny. Texas boy. You from Texas? The people's champ is Paul Wall. Sitting sideways, boys in the days. Sitting sideways, boys in the days. That shit was fire, man. That was in my middle school days. Listening to that shit. Was it? Or was it freshman year of high school? I don't know. It definitely, it feels like in middle school days. But yeah, so going into Donda, right? Highlights for me is Jail is a great song to me. Jail is really good. But Jay-Z's verse is what makes it better. Jay-Z's verse is what makes that song great, in my opinion. Off the Grid is a fucking banger. Except for Cardi. I hate Playboy Cardi. I'm sorry, but Playboy Cardi is fucking terrible. His voice is just, it's like, it gives me like the heebie-jeebies, bro. Like, it's so bad. It's so, like, that whole screeching, like, fucking squeaky voice shit is so stupid. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Like, you sound like a fucking mouse. You sound like when people change the pitch and shit, put it high up, and you like fucking sound like a like that and shit. But the thing that made Off the Grid good was the beat transition from the first part of the song to the second part of the song with Fabio the Foreign. When Ye transitioned the beat into a drill beat. Oh my god, what a transition! And Fabio probably had the best verse of his whole life. Probably will be his best verse of his whole life, because I think he's gotten better. In the beginning, he wasn't as good. Like, he had his joints, that were cool and everything. But this song showed that I was like, yo, this dude could spit. Like, just spit, bro. Just spit. Just do that, bro. Because I guess Kanye was basically like, here, bro, I'll let you have the rest of the song, basically. And he went off for it felt like 2 minutes. I probably wasn't 2 minutes. I'm probably exaggerating, but it felt like 2 minutes because he was just spazzing. And I was like, all right, Fabio, I see what you're doing here, bro. Nice. But yeah, that Fabio saved that song to me. Kanye had a cool verse, but some of the shit he was saying was corny. That's the only thing about Kanye, bro. Like, his verses sometimes be corny as fuck. He comes with some whack shit, bro. And it's like, come on, man. Hurricane is probably up there with one of my favorite songs on the album. It might be my favorite song on the album. I mean, you can't go wrong with The Weeknd. Like, you really can't go wrong with The Weeknd at this point. Weeknd is like, anything he touches turns to gold at this point. He got the Midas touch. Like, he's just so good. His voice lends well to the fucking beat. And Little Baby has gotten... Little Baby, from starting when Drake made that song with him, what was it? I forgot the name of the song, but made that song with him, and that's when I first heard Lil Baby. Honestly, a lot of these rappers that are big now is because you heard fucking Drake do a remix with them. That's, to be honest, that's how it is. Excuse me. But yeah, so Little Baby has gotten so, and last year he was on a roll, bro. Little Baby was on a roll, and he's probably one of my favorite artists right now working today. Like rap artists in the rap game, like one of the new ones. He's one of my favorites because he got actually spit. You know, he got actually spit. So between Kanye, The Weeknd, and Lil Baby, that fucking Hurricane song is an absolute fucking banger, bro. Praise God is a great song. Believe What I Say with the Lauryn Hill sample is probably another sleeper hit for me. That's another one where it's like fuck, like the production on that shit is just the only part this one, he has a lot of other songs that I like on the album, but the thing to me with this Kanye album and what I feel like his last couple of albums, yes, it's atmospheric and it's cool. Like you feel like a different vibe when you listen to his music, but sometimes he goes a little too long with it. Like sometimes it's long-winded, and it gets to the point where it's like, okay, when is the song fucking done? Because it's just repeating kind of the same thing. It's creating a tone and a vibe, but sometimes I don't fuck with that vibe, you know. And it lasts a little too long. And I get it. Music is subjective, and I like that he's experimenting with shit like he always does. But it just, the album didn't sit with me, like especially with a title named Donda, knowing that's your mother. And I felt like it should have been, first of all, it should not have been 27 songs. 27 songs was way too long. And then all these part twos was stupid. I think the part twos should have been like, there should never been no part twos. You either take the best verses from each of those parts and make them in one song, or you pick one of the songs and that's it, and you stick with that. Because, or you make a long, like, just make the one song and combine them together and take out the weak verses, you know? That's what I say. But he didn't do that. So he has all this album, the first half of the album, he has all the songs, and then he has part twos and all the rest of the album. And I'm like, bro, like nobody wants to hear the same fucking song again. I don't want to hear the same song again unless it's like a remix. And that's the thing too, like a little side note, like a little side tangent here. Remix are not the same anymore. I remember back then when growing up, when we heard a remix, it was like a new fucking beat. Everybody had new verses. It wasn't like, okay, if I'm making a freestyle to Hurricane, right? These days the remixes it's Hurricane, all the same people, like the Little Baby and The Weeknd and Kanye will have the same verse, right? And then the new person that came in, say 50 Cent or whatever comes to mind, came in and they split their new verse. That's the remix. No, back then it was like, okay, we're doing a remix. It will have the same, like Lil Baby, The Weeknd, and Kanye. They will write new verses for that shit. And then the new person will come in and will write their verse, and that's a fucking remix. And then sometimes it will change the beat, change it up a bit, and it'll be different. It's like, okay, this is like a new type of beat. This is fire, you know. But they don't do that no more now. This was not a remix, but that was a little side note that remix popped into my head, and I was like, I had to get that out. Yeah, Matt goes, Kanye can get mad corny. Yeah, he can. He can at times get really corny, man. Really corny. And then it's not even a corny where it's like, okay, it's fine, like I get it. It's a corny where it's like, bro, like you really put that in the album? Trash. Then he goes, The Weeknd reminds me of Michael Jackson. He has some of those intangible qualities in his voice. Spot on, Danny. I've always said that for the longest. I've always said that The Weeknd is today's modern day Michael Jackson, just without the dancing. Like Weeknd dances. Like if you were to take The Weeknd, right, and mix him with, I know people don't like him, Chris Brown, with the dance moves, that's the perfect Michael Jackson right there. That's the Michael Jackson carbon copy right there. Because The Weeknd has his voice down fucking packed, bro. Like down fucking packed. And especially some songs, if you told me some songs were fucking Michael Jackson, I will believe you. I will believe you. If you told me some of these, like some like Take My Breath and some of these other songs were made back in the days, definitely I would have been like, oh, that's Michael Jackson, that's pop. I never heard that song. This the remix too, and Nish. Oh my god, bro, I love that song, but Kanye, fucking R. Kelly is a piece of shit, and it sucks, man, because that's one of my favorite songs of all time, but I can never sing that ever again without thinking about that piece of shit ever again, man. Ugh, boy, what a kill he was, man. Fucked up his whole like career. I don't view his music the same anymore, man. Like I don't. Matt goes, what about Usher's dancing? Usher is a great dancer too. Usher was before Chris Brown, it was Usher. But I feel like Chris Brown is a better dancer than Usher, in my opinion. They could still go. Like I could see him still go. Like, but I think Chris Brown is much better dancer than Usher. Omarion is a good dancer too, but that's without being seen. Like Omarion is slept on big time. Anyway, if you guys in the middle of this, if you guys are new and you just popped in, I would like to tell you guys I have a Patreon. You guys could subscribe to my Patreon, the Big Mo Network. 2 tiers. I have a $3 tier, $5 tier. $5 tier gets you watch-alongs and exclusive perks for being a $5 tier member. The $3 tier member is just basically like a tip jar. Before it was to get you access to the Discord, but now I made the Discord free. So if you guys want to join the Discord, it's in the comments below, in the description below, or it's right here. Oh no, I don't have it in here. I have the Patreon here. Also, if you want to send me a Streamlab as well, you may send me a Streamlab. I don't know. Matt, did you send me a Streamlab? Did Danny send me a Streamlab? I don't know. I'm just to check out. I haven't checked, so just in case. If you guys ever send me a Streamlab and you're on the show watching, let me know, so that way, because I don't have it. I don't have screens or whatever to see where my Streamlab comes or whatever. So if you do send a Streamlab, just let me know in the comments or in the chat. If I see it in the comments later, I'll be sure to read it in the next live show. Okay. So let's get back. So with Donda, that's all I said. I said it. I feel like it's long-winded. It's sonically beautiful. I love the choir sections and some of the choir, like the choir use in Hurricane is fucking phenomenal. But like I said, it's long-winded. It's by far not his best album. Sorry, it's not. He took out one of the best songs probably on the album, which was the song that Drake leaked. We'll get to Drake, but that Drake leaked, where Kanye was talking shit about him on a song that was meant to be about his mom. Like, where Andre 3000 probably spit the best verse of the year and the most emotional verse of the year, and he didn't put that shit on the album because you know why? Because he was dissing Drake, which this whole fucking feud and fucking drama and beef between Drake and Kanye is so stupid. I wouldn't be surprised if 3 years later we find out it was all fun and games and it was not even bad. It was not even that serious. I'll be shocked, but I wouldn't put it past it, you know. But I do feel like eventually they'll make up, Kanye and Drake. Come on, like it's been too long. It's been too long. I need a Drake and fucking Kanye song. Like, come on. We all know. As much as I'm a Drake stan, we all know Drake would never be where he's at if it wasn't for Kanye's 808 Heartbreaks or Kanye in general. It is what it is. Hey, shout out to Amanda. What up? It's marketing. I laughed my ass off. Yeah, it is. It's definitely marketing. Definitely marketing for sure. It's like it sells. It sells. Like right now, you have two of the best albums of the year probably right now, and back to back. Like they literally came out in the same week. So, in all, if I were to grade this album out of 10 stars for me, I gave it a 6.5 earlier today before I re-listened to it again for like probably like the fifth time. And I think I will still give it a I think I will give it a 7. A solid 7 out of 10. And I will only say 7 out of 10 because there's some songs that I really, really do like. And obviously, Kanye's production is just, bar none, probably the best production in the game. So it's always good to hear a Kanye album, but it was just a little bit long-winded, like I said 1,000 times. So I will give it a 7 out of 10. My final score. So let's move on to the other album that came out September 3rd from my favorite artist, my favorite rapper right now. And he's climbing up that list, man, every time. Like, Drake is my favorite artist in the last 10 years, right? And I feel like he's just climbing up that list of my top 10 favorite rappers of all time. Like, he was definitely in my top 10, but now he's like, the more I see the consistency, the more I put him up higher on my list. So he's reaching that top 5. He is really reaching that top 5. Because I'm starting to see, like, as much as I love, like, guys like Biggie and like, well, especially Biggie. And, you know, because Biggie is probably one of my favorite. He's going to stay in my top 10. I'm top 5 without a doubt. But he might be knocked down a few pegs only for one reason, is because of his longevity. Unfortunately, he got killed, and we only got one album when he was alive, and then and one album when he was dead. We got more albums after he died, but only two albums that we got from him. And then the rest we had the Biggie greatest hits, and then we had the Biggie duets, which was a great album, but it's not anything new from him. So I feel like just because of that, like, he's my number one artist because I grew up listening to Biggie, and being from Brooklyn, it's one of those things where it's just like, Biggie, man, it's Biggie. It is fucking Biggie. There's no way in hell I could go against Biggie. So he's definitely number one. But Drake is coming up there, going right up there. Him, J. Cole as well. But yeah, so that album that I'm talking about is Certified Lover Boy, CLB. This album, man, it was supposed to come out in January, but they kept on delaying, and I feel like I remember I was telling everybody it was gonna come out July 24th. It's gonna come on my birthday, around my birthday. Excuse me, let me get a sip of water. I said it's gonna come around my birthday, which is July 24th, right? So that's when Kanye, I think had the album listening party on that Thursday. I was like, oh shit, Kanye is gonna drop instead of Drake? Wow. And then I feel like Drake was just waiting for Kanye to drop first. I think that's what it was. He was waiting for Kanye to drop first, so then Drake right after him be like, my album's coming this Friday. So he waited all the way to that, and with Kanye posting like Drake's address and shit like that. Fucking clown ass shit, bro. But we got to Friday, we got to the album, and upon first listening, there was a lot of songs where I was like, okay, like, I like them, right? I like these songs. I really do like these songs. But I don't feel like it's his best work, right? So, especially, there was a song. Listen, the hottest song right now, well, because of the video and everything, is Way Too Sexy. I remember first hearing that. Me and my boy Kels, we were listening together. We were not in the same, but we were texting each other back and forth. And that was the song where we were like, what the fuck is this? And from the get, I hated it. And I never hated a Drake song, but I couldn't stand it, right? And I don't know what it was. But it was after listening to the album the first time and the second time, I still didn't like it. But then they released the video. And I don't know why, but seeing how funny the video is made me like the song more. Because I was seeing where they were going with it. They were having fun with it. It wasn't a serious fucking song. It was a song that is going to be in the club. You know, Way Too Sexy is gonna be in the club for sure. It's a club song, but then when you see how fun they're having with it, it's like, bro, how can I hate this song? Like, you might not vibe with it, you know, it might not be your favorite song on the album. It's not my favorite song on the album, but I don't hate it anymore. I actually like it. And now when I hear it, I'm like, yo, I feel confident in myself and shit like that. Because honestly, this is like a freaking girl. This is like a boy version of WAP. Straight up. Like, this is our fucking song. But then you got girls jamming to this song like it's about them. No, it's for us to feel sexy, bro. Like, get out of here. Let us have something. No, but I love that. I like that song. But Drake's album, man, it's one that grows on you. If you give it more time and listen to it more, it grows on you exponentially. It's probably my top 3 Drake albums. I'm not kidding. You know why? Because also Drake, I love all facets of Drake. I love his do we need a boy version of WAP? I mean, not in that sense, but it's, you know what I mean, Danny. Don't be trying to twist my words. Get out of here. But because I'm not gonna try to explain and then probably fucking fuck up and say something I maybe shouldn't have or whatever the case is. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut on that shit. You know what I meant. But yeah, so the thing when Drake, I love sad emo Drake. I love all that shit, you know. But when Drake bars up and really spits, that's when he creates his best music to me. Like, you're not gonna tell me otherwise. When Drake is rapping, it's untouchable, man. And Drake is, this album, like, from starts, like, always, what Drake is always good at this. His intros and outros are always just outstanding. Like Champagne Poetry, his intro is up there with probably one of my favorite intros. The fucking sample, I love you, I love you, I love you until I fucking amazing sample. And it just continues his fucking consistency of fucking dope intros. And then his outro, I'll skip to the end, like The Remorse, is another great fucking outro. It's fucking amazing. Then after that, you got Poppy's Home, which is that's a great song, probably kind of dissing like people and shit like that. Like dissing, like he's basically dissing all people that try to come for him and shit like that. And he was like, oh, sorry I've been away. You know, you didn't have my name in your mouth or whatever it is. Then you had songs like Girls Want Girls with Little Baby, which we all know. Amanda knows because Amanda watches the Low Priori podcast. But just like Danny, I fucking started dying laughing at that part when he said said that you're a lesbian, girl, me too. It was like it came out of nowhere for me. I liked the bar, but it came out of nowhere for me, and I was like, did Drake just said that shit? That shit was funny. And then he had that song was with Little Baby, which again, Little Baby is fucking putting in work, man. Little Baby's putting in work. You got In the Bible. In the Bible was good too. Love All with Jay-Z is so good. Oh my god! And Drake on that hook, is just phenomenal. Fair Trade with Travis Scott, another banger. Way Too Sexy is okay. It grew on me way more than in the beginning. TSU, yo, bro, if you're from Houston, or the same thing with In Too Deep with featuring Future. If you're from Houston and Texas, you're gonna love that song. I don't know if you listened to that song yet. TSU and In Too Deep, because In Too Deep started the sample of In Too Deep in the beginning is from that song with Bun B and Pimp C, and I forgot what the name of the song is. The name of the song was Get the Road. Yeah, Get the Road. They used the sample from that. Dun, 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 dun. Like it was dope. Pipe Down is my favorite song on the album for personal reasons. It's just Drake is hurt on that shit, like, and he's going at this girl, probably did him wrong and shit. It's just, it connects to me personally. If you guys know, I put out that I was writing. I usually don't put out music, or even, it wasn't really music, it was a voice memo that I put out, and I absolutely like poured my soul on that shit, and I put it out, and I want to finish the song. I haven't finished the song, but I used the pipe down beat, and I used that beat, and I got inspiration from that song, because it's a wonderful song. The fucking instrumental is fire. Like, it's a great song. Yeba's Heartbreak is a perfect like little break between that two, because Yeba has an amazing voice. Like, I can't wait. I think she had her debut album. I don't know if she just put it out or it was like a week before the Drake album came out, but I gotta check her album because I love her voice. And I love when Drake does this. Drake always makes songs and lets the artist that's featuring it, like, that's their song. Same thing like with Take Care. Take Care, he had Kendrick's song. I forgot what it was, but it was just Kendrick on it. It was not Drake on it or anything. And it was like, wow, like that was the first time I heard Kendrick, and I was like, who the fuck is this? This guy's fire. And I went and looked, and I went to Section 80. Section 80 got me hooked, and then it was like, oh shit, his debut album's coming out, Good Kid, Mad City, and I became a fan of Kendrick ever since, you know. But I love when Drake does that. He lets artists shine on his album, and he doesn't touch the song. It's just their song, you know. You got No Friends in the Industry is, oh god, No Friends in the Industry is one of those songs that gets you hype, and feels like nobody can fuck with you or anything like that. So let's see what's going on in the chat. I missed a couple of things I said. And man, I said, hell yeah, wet ass penis. No, don't do that. Let's move along. Yes, let's move along. Jokes, LOL. Danny goes, it takes me forever to check out new music, but I love Get Thrilled. Yeah, Get Thrilled is a classic. Oh, Danny's back. I said, okay, I'm done editing. I can finally change profiles. LOL. Dope. You spit fire. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate it. I don't do it enough because I have to be very heavily inspired to fucking write. Because other than that, it's not gonna come out. You know, I have to be in that mode, and usually I'm in that mode at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and then I get mad because I don't have enough time because I want to fucking go to sleep. So I don't have enough time to write, and I get mad. I'm like, fuck, like I want to keep on writing, but I'm tired, you know. Knife Talk is a great song too. If like with Project Pat in there, 21 Savage, Drake gets really fucking dark on that shit. Like fucking, he wants to kill people. It's a spoiler alert. This guy dies, and I'm like, oh, relax yourself, Drake, relax. And to me, I think the best song bar for bar on this album is probably 7 a.m. on Bridal Path. And boy, oh boy, did he go in. I've never seen Drake go in like that in a long time. Like, and then he went in on Kanye too on that track. Like, he dissed the shit out of Kanye. And I'm like, Kanye, like, don't even try to come back. Don't even try to say anything. Shut up. Because Drake will flame you. Drake is, that's the thing. Drake is an easy guy to make fun of, you know. But the thing about Drake is that Drake doesn't give a shit. He laughs at himself. Look at the whole video. Prime example, the whole video for Way Too Sexy is fucking like, it's fucking hilarious, and it's him poking fun at himself. He's not taking this shit seriously, you know. But it that's the thing. Like people like to make fun of him because he is the butt of a lot of jokes, and I mean it is what it is. But he doesn't let that shit get to him, man. But he has so many fucking dope lines. I'm pouring it up now, and I'm trying to find the certain lines that I can say and shit like that. Let me see. Let me see. If you guys listen to Certified Lover Boy, tell me what songs did you like from the album. I'm curious. I want to see what was your favorite song on the album. What's your least favorite song on the album? I'm trying to find this fucking shit. He said, I can give a fuck about who's designing your sneakers and tees. Have somebody put you on the Gildan. You play with my seed. Everybody knows Gildan is the t-shirt, you know, the t-shirt, the t-shirt manufacturer that you get the solid t-shirts, so you go put shit on it, you know, the Gildan, put you on a Gildan, you play with my seed, yo. That's a dope bar. I'm trying to find the bar that I read. This was one of the biggest bars on there was give the address to your driver, make it your destination instead of just a post out of desperation. He's talking about fucking Kanye posting up Drake's address. Like, who does that shit? You a cornball. Like, Kanye is a cornball for that. Who does that shit, bro? Who does that shit? That's why Drake was like, yo, you gonna put my address up, at least fucking post up, come to my address. You got my address, come to me, instead of putting that shit on a fucking on Instagram out of desperation because you just want people, you don't know what else to do. Because Kanye ain't gonna, that's the thing about Kanye's not gonna really diss Drake. He's gonna send other people to diss him. He'll send Pusha T or somebody else to diss him. It's like, shut up, bro. Let's get out of my face. There's another song. There's another one. There's a lot of ones. Oh, oof. It said, but let me digress on behalf of the association. I'll play it cool with you. Denmark, blank like Copenhagen. Jesus. God. What a fucking, that Denmark Copenhagen bar is just way too nasty. And he spit, like, that's the thing. When Drake just spits and just goes on, like anytime he has a song with a time on it, like 7 a.m. on Bridle Path, 4 p.m. in Calabasas or some shit like that, he's gonna go off. You know it. What else? What are songs after that? Then that Race My Mind, which is another great song. Fountains is another. It's an islandy song, which is cool. It gets like a little change of pace to the album. It has the more of the views Drake with the whole like island vibes and shit like that with Thames. Which Thames, if you haven't heard Thames, she's amazing. She's great. Get Along Better with Ty Dolla Signs, great song. You Only Live Twice. I did not get this in the beginning, but You Only Live Twice was featuring Lil Wayne and Rick Ross. I totally forgot that You Only Live Once was with Drake, Lil Wayne, and Rick Ross. This is the sequel to that song, You Only Live Twice. And they went ham on that shit, bro. Like it was, and that's the one where Swizz Beatz, where Drake dissed Swizz Beatz too. I mean, you can't. This album was consistent with the bars, man. Consistently barred up. Like even on the singing tracks, he had bars, bro. And that's what makes Drake the way he is. He's so versatile. You know, he could do anything. Then you have I Miss You Too, featuring Kid Cudi, which was long awaited. I'm so happy they squashed that beef because I love Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi is amazing to me. He's one of my favorite artists, especially during that time, you know, in middle school. Oh, no, high school. It was early high school. Listening to Kid Cudi got me through some shit, you know, Pursuit of Happiness and Day and Night. Come on, that's just classic shit. The last song, fucking Fans, and then The Remorse, great songs. But so, all in all, I think Drake's album, to me, it's just, on first viewing, it's good. On second hearing, it's on second listen, it's great. On third listen, it's fucking amazing. On fourth listen, it just gets better and better and better and better as they go. as the more I listen to it, the more it's becoming one of my favorite albums of the year. Top 5 Drake album. Well, not top 5 because he only has 6 LPs. So I will say top 3 for sure. To me, it'll be for personal reasons. Take Care is number 1. Number 2 is Nothing Was the Same, and I think I'll put Certified Lover Boy number 3 right now. And I'm being completely honest with you as a big time Drake fan. So, and Take Care, I have it as a 10 out of 10. Nothing Was the Same, I have it as a 10 out of 10. And I give Certified Lover Boy a 9 out of 10 stars. That's how much I fucking love this album, and how much it's grown on me the more I hear it. And it's just overall better. I know it's totally different sonically, but it's a better album to listen to than Kanye's album. It truly is. If you're gonna listen to an album on repeat, you're gonna listen to fucking Certified Lover Boy. You're not listening to Donda unless you're a heavy Drake, unless you're a heavy Kanye West fan. It's just it is what it is, you know. So those are my 2 reviews for Donda and Certified Lover Boy, right? So which one do you guys think is best? Which one do you think Donda's better than Certified Lover Boy? Do you think Certified Lover Boy is a terrible album? Do you think it's great but not as great as I say it? Do you think Donda is just a terrible album? Or do you think it's better than I thought it was, you know? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the chat. Anybody in the chat how you feel if you listen to it. So we'll see. Danny says Drake knows he's a living meme. Yeah, he knows it. He plays to it. He knows he's an actor too, so he knows. Like people don't give Drake a lot of credit, man. Drake can fucking act. He can't dance. That sucks. But he could spit and he could sing. I mean, come on, man. What else do you want from Drake, bro? Amanda goes, I didn't listen yet, to be honest. Life too busy. Maybe I'll listen tomorrow. Yeah, give it a shot. I'm curious to see what other people think. I'm a Drake stan, so for me, it's always hard to judge these albums without that bias. But I always try to the best I can. You know, I always try to the best I can when it comes to Drake. You know, my friend Kels, who usually was doing the show with me in the beginning, and we'll start the Mo and Kel show pretty soon. Is gonna come out in October, like I said. Don't know when in October, but it's coming. But we were talking about it, and I remember in the beginning he thought the album was okay, but he liked it. He didn't like it as much, right? And then over time, he kept much each of the songs grew on him and grew on him and grew on him to the fact that this is one of his favorite Drake albums, which in the beginning he was already like shitting on it and didn't really like it as much. He liked some songs, especially the bar heavy songs, you know, which were dope. Cuddy's the best, man. Yeah, I love Cuddy. I always did. Solo Dolo. Hell yeah. He's great, man. He's great for also like emo rap kids. Like Kid Cudi's like one of the goats for that, man. But yeah, so we're done with the album, Donda and Certified Lover Boy review. Now this show is gonna go over because I'm gonna get to one of my favorite things that's happened this week. It's the PlayStation Showcase. So PlayStation had a showcase. What was it? Thursday? Was it Thursday? I don't think, or was it Friday? Tell me in the comments if anybody's in here. Was it Thursday or Friday? I don't remember because the days fly by. I think it was Friday. They had a showcase of a lot of the new games, stuff that's coming out, and we had four big reveals. One of them was Knights of the Old Republic remake. I've never played the original KOTOR, never played it, but I always hear how much of a fucking amazing game it is. So I'm so happy that PlayStation, I don't know if it's an exclusive or if it's I don't know if it's a PlayStation exclusive or it's gonna be a timed exclusive and it's gonna eventually be on Xbox and PC. I would think it's gonna be on PC, which if it's on PC is eventually gonna go to Xbox. So I don't know that. I think it's based. I think it's a time exclusive. I would think so, especially with Star Wars. So I would think it's a time exclusive. Um, so I never played KOTOR, and honestly, I don't know the story. I don't know anything. So I'm really excited to play this when it comes out because I like the best Star Wars game to me was what was the name of the song the game? Fuck. It was the last one that they really came out with. Well, Jedi First Order, was it something like that? No, not First Order. Shit, what was the name of that game? Anybody could tell me in the chat. What was the game? Star Wars. Fuck. I'm gonna look it up not right now because this is gonna bother the hell out of me. So let me see. Star Wars game. Let's see. Star Wars game. Oh yeah. That's what it was. It was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That was a great fucking game. Campaign was great. I can't wait till they expand on that. I know they're gonna definitely have a part 2 with that. It just makes sense. It's characters, spoiler alert, are still alive. So I would think they're gonna fucking do it again. So that's exciting. They had a couple of other like little announcements like GTA 5 and GTA Online are remastered for the PS5 got pushed back to March of next year. So it wasn't gonna come. I think it was supposed to come on December or November of this year, but they pushed it back to next year, which is fine. I just want new GTA. Just give me new GTA. I know they're coming out because they already talked about the remastered versions of the trilogy, which is Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which I can't wait for because I haven't played those games in decades at this point. That's what it feels like. Decade. Well, technically decade because, yeah, when those game came out, like over a decade and a half, like 15 years probably, the last time those games came out. So I was younger and I didn't really remember a lot of the, story and everything. So I'm really curious to see how that shit is. To see how they remaster it too. I'm very curious because GTA is fucking awesome. And I think they're just doing this too because they're trying to satisfy the fans because they're trying to get the GTA 6. GTA 6 is coming. It's just they want to give something for the fans to chew on because they know we've been craving for for part 6 already. It's like fuck GTA Online. Like I don't play that shit. And this is like it's old already. Yo, the Grand Theft Auto came out for the 360 and the PS3. That shit is old, bro. That shit is old as shit. Like we had 3 generations of consoles already with this game. It's like, yo, give me a new GTA already. What's going on, bro? Like, I don't know what happened to back when they made Vice City and all that stuff. It was like back to back to back. It was like we didn't have to wait that long for Grand Theft Auto games. Now we gotta wait like 20 years. Like it feels. It's like, come on, man, get it together. Get it together, Rockstar. And while you at it, if you're making a remastered version of GTA trilogy, can you please remaster probably my favorite game of yours, which is Red Dead Redemption? Please. Because Red Dead Redemption 2 is fucking amazing and it's a prequel. So it'll be great for the people who played Red Dead Redemption 2 to actually play the first one, where it's the continuation of part 2. And you remake the first one, remaster it, and bring it out, and people who haven't played the first one could play it after playing the second one. Like it's please just give it to me, please. I love that game and I'm not gonna go back and play it. I'm not a big fan of playing older games because especially you get so spoiled with great graphics these days that it's just like it's hard to play an old game unless it's like a Super Mario or it's like one of those games like a Nintendo game. Fine, I really don't care how old it looks. But when it comes to games that's supposed to look real, like a fucking Grand Theft Auto or shit like that, it's like, nah, fam. I need updated graphics. I need fucking Last of Us Part 2 type graphics. Man, I go, oh shit, new GTA. I hope so pretty soon. I will say, but it's 2021 now, right? 2021. I want to say no, probably 2024, 2025. I hope it's sooner, and maybe 2023, maybe. But I know how long Rockstars take to make GTA, so I would think probably 2004 or 2024 or 2025, so around there. Man, damn Mo, making me feel old. Sorry. You don't fuck around in Vice City. Hell no, you don't. Hey, what's up, Rob? Thanks for joining. Shout out to Rob. Leonard Kim in the building. The more Pokemon games we get, the better. That's another thing. You can never get tired of Pokemon games. The Diamond and Pearl's coming out, right? The new Diamond and Pearl. So I can't wait. Is everybody still on? Because it's showing me 0 views. Just let me know if you guys are still on, or it's just me fucking up on my end. But shout out to Leonard Kim. Shout out for coming in here. Pokemon games are fucking awesome. You can't go wrong with Pokemon games. So other news. So I talked about the Knights of the Old Republic game remake coming out. Insomniac games are coming in and are just fucking pulling their dick out and like, yo, I'm the shit. Like, they're like, nobody's fucking with us. When they showed the trailer for Marvel's Wolverine, I went fucking nuts. Like, because the opening scene, it has the credit, it shows Insomniac Games, and then it shows the Marvel, and I'm like, oh shit, Spider-Man. I'm like, Spider-Man, new Spider-Man, yeah, happy. And then all of a sudden, it cuts to like a bar scene, and everybody's on the floor. Sorry, I gotta switch. Everybody's on the floor, and all chairs broken up, or it looks like a brawl is happening. And I'm watching, I'm like, this doesn't feel like Spider-Man. What's going on? This is weird. So I go and they cut to the guy, and the guy's wearing a cowboy hat, flannel, and I'm like, is this who I think it is? And I'm watching it. And all of a sudden, the guy comes behind him with a knife and pulls out the knife, and then they cut to the guy's hands, and all of a sudden they go chink, and the blades come out, and I lost my shit. I'm like, holy shit, we are getting a fucking Wolverine game with the same engine as Spider-Man? Give it to me right now, bro. Give it to me right now. I want that shit right now. I already know the gameplay on that shit is gonna be fire. Glenn Caesar comes in. What up, everyone? I hope you'll join Sir Joker and I on Rob's YouTube when the show is done. Yeah, go over to see Sir Joker and Glenn talk. That should be a great episode of Everyday Experts. Should be fun to watch. So whenever you guys are done here, you guys could go right over there. That'll be dope. Peace out for now. Peace out, Glenn. Danny. Oh, sing. Yo, I lost it, man. I was like, oh my god. And then come after that, they go and they show a Gran Turismo trailer, which looks beautiful. And I'm like, yo, this is awesome. But I'm still on the high of Wolverine. And then they come, and the next shit pops up, PlayStation Studios. I'm like, okay, let's see what else they got. Insomniac Games. And I'm like, Insomniac Games again? I was like, didn't we just see him? And then I saw Marvel again. I was like, don't tell me they're doing this. And then when they cut, like at first I thought, which a lot of people thought it was Infamous. I know a lot of reactors and everything was like, yo, is this Infamous? Is this the new Infamous? And then especially they saw the electricity, and the electricity is like a thing. I never played Infamous, but I guess it's an Infamous power and stuff like that. And then when they showed the Spider-Man suit, I was like, holy shit. And then they showed Miles Morales suit, and I was like, it's what I thought it was going to be. A co-op. It's probably going to be a co-op. I was like, we're going to be able to play as both Miles and Peter. Give me that right now. And then we hear somebody talking in voiceover, and I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. It sounds like Kraven the Hunter. And I think Kraven the Hunter is in this game some way, shape, or form. And we go, and he's talking, giving this monologue, talking about I'm trying to find a worthy match. That's what Kraven the Hunter says. Then it cuts to like they looking in an alley, and it gets dark, and you hear something about we're ready or some shit like that. And I was like, I fucking knew it. It's Venom. And then they show Venom's face, and it was like, give me this game right now. 2023 can't come fast enough. Like, that's gonna be one hell of a fucking game. One hell of a game, man. And then they showed, on top of that, the next game, they showed God of War Ragnarok. They actually showed gameplay. And God of War Ragnarok is going to be probably one of the best games of that year, bar none. I think it comes out next year. So it's going to be fun. Does it come out next year or this year? I don't know. One of the two. Is, as long as it comes out soon, I don't really care. But yeah, that's it for the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for commenting. If you guys left any donations or anything in the Streamlabs, I'll get to it tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, on the next live show. If not, all good. I'm just glad you guys are watching. If you guys want to sign up to my Patreon, the Patreon link will be in the description. It's up here if you need it. The Big Mo Network. You guys can search it on Patreon if you need to. Also, the Discord link will be in the description as well. It's free for anybody to join me. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's BigMo104 on Instagram. Also, I have the podcast feed on Anchor. I have it down below. So it's gonna be dope. Let me see and read a couple more comments. I love the look of Thor. Yes, I like that they're not doing a buff Thor and like fucking like straight up like Chris Hemsworth Thor. They're doing like basically like he looks like a bodybuilder and shit like that. He looks like he's got the big gut and everything, but he looks fucking powerful. Greggy Castillo, ¿qué pasa, baby girl? What up, Gregory, bro? What's up? Shout out. I'm sorry you came late, but shout out anyway. Thanks for coming through. Looks like a strong man. Yes, he does. Matt gotta bounce. Have a great night, everyone. Peace out, Matt. And everyone else, peace out. I'll see you. Have a great night. Love you all. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And peace out, motherfuckers.